Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today, man, we're going to be talking about Dream's video, The Truth, which is his big response to all these allegations and whatnot that have been made against him. Now, just yesterday, I made a video talking about a new round of proof, allegations, whatever, about Dream. Now, this has been a situation that's obviously been going on for quite a while. And in the video, I was pretty adamant, right? Like, hey, when are we finally going to get this response video? You know, we've been waiting for all this time. There's been just so many allegations. You know, he hasn't released this video he's been talking about. He was supposed to do it the day before. He didn't do it the day before, right? We had no word on an upload. Very confusing time. But about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours or so after I uploaded that video, he finally drops it. And it's like an hour and a half long, right? And also to point out too, it's not the only thing that he really addresses in this video, right? He talks about a whole lot of different things, for better or worse. I'll talk about that a little bit later in this video, and before we even get any further in this video, I just want to clarify something, right? Because I don't know if I was as aware as I am now of just how many people really on both sides are like this, but there's like 10% of people, I figure, on, you know, both sides, the Dream supporter side and the anti-Dream side, right? Who are just like really taking this situation and being so weird about it, right? So like on the Dream supporter side, you know what I mean? There's always going to be the Dream stans who go around doxing people and being assholes and being weirdos, just doing stupid and annoying shit, trying to, like, I don't know, either get Dream's attention or just defend his honor and legacy. I really don't know, but that's always been a thing. That's been something people have called out for years at this point, right? But then on the other side of this whole thing, right, with all these allegations, there's also people who it seems like they really want this shit to be true. And I don't know, man, to me, that's the weirdest part of this, right? There are actually people out there that hope that Dream genuinely groomed children and, like, sexualized children and did just weird, nasty shit. That way it's justifiable to end this guy's career. Like, I get not liking Dream, I get thinking he's cringe or his content's shit or whatever, but to be one of these people who, like, are basically on the side of, yeah, I really hope he did groom those kids. I hope he is guilty of all this shit and he gets caught. That way he's over with. That way Dream's canceled. Like, I don't know, to me that's some weird shit, but anyway, the video came out, it's an hour and a half long, and he addresses, at least to my knowledge, all of the allegations of grooming and whatnot made against him. And when it comes to his video, it seems like most people think this is a really good response, right? They seem to think that this is like a vindicating video of sorts for Dream, right? And me personally, I definitely don't think it was bad. Like, it could have been a whole lot worse, let's be honest here. I mean, we've seen so many countless examples of YouTube creators trying to, like, tackle very serious and important things or allegations, and they just, you know, they'll do things like Colleen Ballinger, I think was her name, the woman who had, like, the fucking ukulele song or whatever. Like, we've seen some legitimately just terrible responses that just, I mean, you would think, like, how the fuck did this get made? But for what it's worth, Dream did actually go at least decently into depth with a lot of these controversies. Now, before we even start talking about the individual parts of this whole thing, I want to just go over some of the things that I don't like about this video, because there are a couple things. The video itself wasn't really bad or anything, but there are a few nitpicks I do have. Number one, I feel like he did a whole lot of yapping about some shit that truthfully just didn't fucking matter at all. I mean, you gotta think about it like this, right? Dream is being accused of some pretty nefarious shit, right? Like, a lot of these allegations, you know, they're trying to make him out like he's a pedophile or he likes kids or whatever, or he's, like, you know, being weird towards kids in his audience. Pretty serious allegations. But then, you know, this tell-all video that's supposed to be responding to these things, that are supposed to be responding to very serious fucking issues, the first, like, 25 minutes of the video is him just addressing shit that literally just doesn't fucking matter at all. Like, I kind of get the whole face leak thing, because, like, people were really weird about that whole situation, and, you know, it was something that we never really got any clarification on or whatever, but, like, I mean, just looking through a few parts of this video, it just had me like, dude, why are we even fucking discussing this? Like, 4 minutes in, we start talking about the Minecraft speedrun cheating scandal where this guy, like, fucking hired an astrophysicist to prove he wasn't cheating or whatever, in a drama that anyone with a brain stopped caring about or didn't care about in the first place, like, what, a year ago? You know, it's been so long. No one cares about this. I don't understand why this was even being discussed in the same breath as there are several allegations against me online of being a child groomer. You know what I mean? Like, and like the same thing with why would a grown man use Snapchat, right? Like, I know it's some sort of online joke, like, oh, adults don't use Snapchat, that's weird or whatever, but like, it has hundreds of millions of fucking monthly users, you know? Why are we sitting here defending ourselves for using Snapchat, bro? Either use it or don't. Who cares? I don't understand why that was even like a point we had to spend time responding to, right? Or like the whole fucking moist critical side of this whole thing, you know? The guy actually spent like 25 minutes of the entire video just talking about fucking nothing, you know? Talking about things that would not matter to anyone, right? Like, oh, I don't actually post thirst traps to my Snapchat. I think they're pretty typical pictures. Look at all these other creator relationships that were found dated online. And then truth be told, you know, he picks like, you know, PewDiePie and Marzia and these other relationships and whatnot that have formed online between quote-unquote fans and streamers. But he leaves out literally all the context behind these stories, right? Behind all these situations where none of them were at a questionable age when they started talking to these creators. You know, they were in their like 20s when this whole thing started. Or the actual background where, you know, these creators didn't have 18 or 30 million subscribers at the time when they found these people. They were just, you know, smaller creator. Like, I don't know, he ignored so much context in a lot of the shit that in all reality, he shouldn't have even been talking about in the first place because it just made everything else look worse. But, and then another thing, right? Like, at one part of the video, he's talking about like responding to DMs with one of these girls on Instagram, right? And he says like, well, if you get into a DM with somebody at any point in time, even if you delete the messages out of your, like, in your inbox or whatever, they can still message you afterwards. And he says this, like, talking about one of these girls, you know, that, of course, the bad allegations came about, right? You know, the weird allegations came about. And he uses that as, like, like a rationale as to why he kept replying to these people. And I gotta say, that was just not a good answer. It's not a good answer because it doesn't address the question of why were you responding in the first place, right? Like, yes, he is right, by the way. I run an Instagram account and everything. People can message you if you delete, like, your message box with them or whatever, right? But that doesn't put some software on your phone that forces you to respond to these accounts. Like, I have an Instagram page with tens of thousands of followers, right? I've had people do a lot of weird shit. I've had people send me 40 messages unprovoked, right? I've had people add me to their personal, like, friend group chats where they send memes and say stupid shit. But after, like, you know, one or two replies when you're interacting with your fans and whatnot, you really don't have to do a whole lot more. And I know that might sound mean, like, oh, these people don't give a fuck about their fans, but like, bro, you got 30 million subscribers, you have all these followers and fans, like, you can easily justify not responding to these fucking people, man. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but you did not have to respond. To pretend like them messaging you, like, incessantly just forced your hand to reply, it's really disingenuous in my opinion. But it's just mostly little things like that, right? There's been some allegations online that he may have cropped some of his evidence to hide context. Some of the screenshots and whatnot may have been altered. I don't know 100% if that's true. Obviously, that could just be people online fucking talking, you know? But overall, the video was better than I expected it to be, right? Like, it definitely was better than most of the YouTuber responses, or whatever you want to call them, that we typically see out of people, right? Because I feel like he did at least try to address a lot of these claims, you know, and he did bring up some pretty fair points about a lot of these allegations. And I feel like some of the allegations against him had already been proven false before this whole thing, right? Like, there was definitely, I think, at least one of these where, like, we already knew this was like a clout chasing situation. Even just a couple weeks ago, I think, there was another one where someone literally put fake evidence on Twitter trying to make a false allegation, and me and other people pointed that out. But I just feel like the video would have been better if, you know, he cut out like 7 of these segments where we're not even talking about the allegations people still care about. And he did bring up some fair points. Like, for instance, you know, some of these people had claimed that they were taking, like, police action against him and that they were going to go file police reports or whatever with the Orange County Sheriff's Office, which I think is the local police department, if I'm not mistaken, with Dream. And, you know, he calls them and interacts with them, and they don't even know his fucking name, right? Because in the year and a half that these people have claimed they were going to file, like, these, you know, criminal things or whatever, or trying to file complaints against him, they never really did. So, and then it turns out that one of the more recent allegations, the ones that I covered yesterday, on that burner account or whatever, right? These people end up coming out publicly because, well, Dream drops this video responding to everything, and they come out with this random fucking thread of text where, honestly, I'm not even gonna read all of it to you because a lot of it is just word salad where they're just I don't even know. But anyway, this is the important part of it all. To clarify what we're saying, either this person, the person making allegations against Dream, lied to us about the allegations being true, sent us fake proof, and then gave us permission to post it for whatever reason, or they lied in Dream's response video about the allegations being false and the allegations are true. So, at this point, you know, this burner account that was making these allegations and whatnot and dropped that Google Doc and everything against Dream, at this point, they're just fucking waffling, you know what I mean? They have no idea what's going on. Now they're trying to say, oh, the person who came to us with this evidence, either they're lying to Dream or they're lying to us. Someone's getting lied to in this whole situation. Honestly, man, I don't want to fucking hear it. I really don't, right? Like, you know, you couldn't have figured any of this out before you went public with these allegations or whatnot, right? Like, I don't know, bro. At the end of the day, these are very serious allegations, you know what I mean? This is not some fucking play date. This is not some goof it up situation, right? Like, I get, you know, making memes about it or whatever, but there's legitimately people in this situation who I feel like are just simply trying to gain from it at the expense of other people. There's people who, it appears, are making false allegations, and to be fair, even if some people made false allegations, that doesn't mean all the allegations are false. You know, if some of the allegations turn out to be true, that doesn't mean every allegation is true. In my opinion, all of the allegations need to be treated on an independent merit, right? Like in terms of their legitimacy. So I'm not gonna sit here and say it's all fake, it's all real or whatnot, because truth be told, pretty much everything here is just a bunch of fucking he said, she said. Here's the reality of the situation as far as I'm concerned, right? It doesn't matter if Dream's video is right. It doesn't matter if Dream's video is wrong. No matter what, at this point in time, there will never be any sort of criminal charges against Dream. There will never be any quote-unquote legitimate justice for these supposed victims and whatnot, right? There will never be a satisfactory outcome to this situation, if you will, right? If Dream didn't do it, these people are simply making up allegations to try and ruin his career and fuck his life up, which, in my opinion, if that is the case, the people responsible for that should be sued into the fucking dirt, and they should just, you know, suffer the consequences, really, of what they're doing, because, in my opinion, false allegations are one of the worst possible things that you can do. I mean, to go so low to falsely accuse somebody of anything really like this is just, it takes a special level of, like, mentally deranged, you know what I mean? So, and if it all turns out, you know, this is true, and, you know, Dream got all of these people to come on his video and speak facelessly and whatnot, right? And you know, he just somehow masterminded all of this and got his way out of it, then even then, unfortunately, he's never gonna see any sort of fucking trouble or whatever, right? I mean, like, look at a situation like EDP445. They caught the guy on video twice trying to meet up with children for sexual purposes. There was all these just countless messages, all this proof, all this evidence of this guy doing, you know, horrific things. Like, let's just clear that up. And I mean, he's not sitting in a jail cell, right? He's not been arrested. He's not had even really his whole career ruined. Like, this guy still goes online and he still has accounts and he still has weirdos who, like, actually stick up for him. You know what I mean? Sure, he's 99.9% of the way gone, but he's not all the way gone, right? Like, he's not in a fucking jail cell or anything. So it's just one of those things that I truthfully feel like the internet's going to end up forgetting about. And that could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. We really don't know because too much of this situation is still in fucking lingo here or whatever. But like keep in mind, this burner account that is now backing around, oh, well, we don't know who's telling the truth to who here now, right? Like, they were so confident before Dream's video, they were willing to go to court. You know, they literally said, hey, we're ready for a lawsuit, you know what I mean? But now, they, that seems to not be the case. Oh, Dream's calling me, hang on. Nah, just kidding, I was getting a random phone call in the middle of the video. Anyway, Anyway, just to wrap this video up, because I've pretty much said everything I really need to say so far, to wrap it up, I want to talk about a little bit of the public response to this video, right? Now, I've seen a couple of different takes / opinions / whatever you want to call them, right? That honestly, I just don't understand, right? So there's been some people in this whole thing, right, that like every time these allegations have come out, the first thing they do is run to talk about, oh, Dream's a pedophile, Dream's this, Dream's that. Like people on Twitter and shit, they'll sit there and they'll make memes and talk about how this guy's a pedophile and all these just nasty things about him, right? But then when he releases a video responding to all these things, suddenly they don't give it the time anymore, you know what I mean? Now it's all the, I ain't reading all that, bro, and shit like that. It's like you had all the time in the world for this whole fucking year or whatever, anytime allegations came out, to sit there and handcraft memes and make fun of this guy and call him, pedo and whatnot. But then he finally releases his side of the story, and suddenly now it's, oh, I ain't reading all that. Like, you're a fucking goofball, bro. And it just goes to show that a lot of these people, once again, they didn't care whether or not Dream actually did this shit. They'd rather Dream did it. That way they had memes and they had shit to say online. Which to me, I think once again is pretty sad and weird, right? I guess is at the end of the day, maybe not some guy that everyone loves or whatever, but like he doesn't deserve to have his life and career ruined if these are genuinely false allegations, right? And even though I dislike him or his content or whatever, I should give him the fucking right of day to be like able to defend himself. That's how I think everyone should be. And I don't even hate Dream. I don't even dislike Dream, right? I don't watch his videos. I don't go out of my way to interact with his shit, but like I'm not gonna sit here and just completely disregard his side of the story simply because I dislike him. Like, that's just not right, in my opinion. Then there's also a lot of people online who are, mad that he monetized the video, which I get because, like, it's covering some pretty heavy shit. Typically, YouTubers will demonetize pretty important videos like this. Ultimately, I'm really not that mad about the ads on the video because according to Dream, this money is all going to be getting donated to the charity that he talked about in his video. And I mean, I have no reason to not believe him personally. Like, I mean, he's already at a crossroads in his career where like everything's on the line. It really wouldn't make any more sense for him to try and fucking lie about donating that money to charity, which could really, I mean, if you see the Gerard situation recently, that shit can really tank you, you know what I mean? So that just, I don't know. I get why people, are saying, oh, it's scummy, oh, yada, if they especially don't know that that's the case, but I mean, it is kind of like one of the first things that he talks about in the video. I feel like even if you don't like Dream, you should probably just watch the video anyway. I mean, he does split it up, thankfully, into chapters and whatever, so you can just skip to the important parts. And then also, to talk about it and to wrap everything up, there's also a subsection of Dream supporters and whatnot who are just being weird about this whole thing, right? Like, they see this Dream video come out where he responds, and their first reaction is to, like, attack all the people who actually, like, believed or paid attention to the allegations. And they're not even just mad at people, like I said, who were on Twitter calling this guy a pedophile and, like, actually saying he was guilty or whatever. They're mad at people who were just like, hey, these allegations exist, and covered them or talked about them in general, right? As if, like, if you heard about the allegations and had an opinion like, holy shit, what the fuck is this, right? Like you were some sort of bad guy. That's kind of what happens when people get accused of, like, weird shit like this. I mean, did you really think everybody was gonna turn their head and be like, oh my god, Dream got accused of something? Nah, don't pay attention to that, bro. Like, what kind of fucking dangerous precedent are these people actually calling for? Like, yeah, we should just ignore any allegations made against anyone and never even pay any attention to them because, they may be lying. Like, what the fuck are you guys actually talking about? So, I don't know. That's my take on this whole thing, though. The Dream video, it was better than I anticipated. It wasn't bulletproof or perfect, though. It had a few issues or problems that I saw with it. Overall, though, better response than I anticipated out of him. It was about time, truthfully. I feel like this video could have come out earlier, but I mean, hey, I don't know. He was the one dealing with it in the background, not me. So, anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about the new Dream response and signing out. And that's a wrap on this video, but a big shout out to my Optimus Nation supporters. You guys are the real MVPs here. Your support with just $10 a month unlocks a treasure trove of exclusive videos, constantly updated, archived live stream VODs, and early access to all new uploads. Thanks for watching and see you soon.